Okay, guys, appreciate you being here. Quick recap, I guess, last week first. Obviously, big win, battle for the belt. I was really, really proud of our team. We handled a lot of adversity in that game. If you look at the ins and outs of that game, several guys went down for us. Next man up kind of mentality. Talked about that after the game on Saturday. And looking back at the film, man, I love how we started the football game. We got off to a great start, really in all three phases. I know South had a really good drive the first drive, and then the defense kind of settled in and played really good the rest of the half. Offensively, got rolling a little bit in that second quarter and put up some points. And, I think the last 2.5 minutes of that game were key. We didn't handle that last 2.5 minutes the way we'd like to, and really not one side of the ball. Offensively, we didn't get a first down. I thought we made a poor decision and kept us from being able to do that. We got a penalty on the punt. Then defense, we had them 4th and 8 and missed tackle 2 or 3 guys. So we had every opportunity to get that half with a 31-7 lead. Instead, they went down and scored, and it gave them hope and life and some excitement back. So and then we were in a dogfight in the second half after we were down several guys. So hopefully that's just a learning lesson from us. We were able to win for us. We were able to win the game, which is always a plus. And if you look back at our season, you look at since Georgia Southern, Texas State, now South Alabama, we have found a way to win these close games. That's a positive thing for sure. We've improved tremendously up front in the offensive line. Our defense continues to play at a high level. So we're excited about, obviously, the improvement we're making each and every week. And this week we're going to need a big improvement facing a really talented Louisiana team that obviously led by their head coach, Billy Napier, who I know very well, does a great job. You can tell his team is now built in his mode as far as what he wants his teams to look like. Very disciplined team. They're very consistent. They've won close games on the road, which is the sign of a veteran team. Guys that I think that have played a lot, especially their quarterback. But Billy does an excellent job and always really well prepared. And hopefully we'll get them here at home. And our crowd and our playing here at home will help us tremendously. Their defense coordinator, Patrick Toney, I think he's an excellent coach. Has been there a couple years, several years, I guess, and kind of learned under some really good defensive coordinators. He's a guy that I think does a great job of. They're very, very sound in what they do. They make you earn everything. He keeps giving you enough looks where you can't zero in exactly what he's trying to do. So very impressed with his defenses over the last few years, or last couple years, I guess, since he's been the coordinator, and then he was there as an assistant. Have some friends in this profession that know him very well and always speak really highly of him. So very impressed. I think, offensively, I think Billy obviously is the play caller, and the offense is built around what he likes to do, but he's got some really good assistant coaches on that staff as well. So special team, very sound as well. These guys are just very well coached. I think Chris Couch is their special team coordinator, and he does an excellent job. And they mix the looks up. They don't let you zero in on what they're going to do each and every week, which is always a key. But, player-wise, I think obviously it starts with their quarterback, Levi Lewis, one of the better quarterbacks in our league. Very dangerous. Is a true dual-threat guy. A veteran guy that's played a lot of snaps, doesn't turn the ball over much, which is great at that position. Really impressed with him and how he's grown over the years. I remember him being a high school player. Way back when I think I was at Southern Miss then, and he was down in Louisiana. I knew a lot about him then, and you can see he's really matured and grown. And man, he's just an excellent player. Does a great job of running their offense, and he's kind of in my mind the guy that makes them go. Got some very talented running backs. They're young at that spot, but those guys are very talented. Number 4, Montreal Johnson, is a guy that really sticks out to me. He's explosive, leads their team in touchdowns, and average yards per carry, but he's a physical guy, but he's also very explosive, and we got to get him before he gets going for sure. They got a talented offensive line. We're going to have to play our best game on defense to really try to slow these guys down. Defensively, like I mentioned earlier, very sound defense. They're not going to be out of position, make you earn it. And number 4, their defensive lineman, Zion Hill, been around. He's an impressive guy too. I think he's a guy that, he started a bunch of games there for him over the years, and, got another veteran guy that's seen a lot and played a lot of snaps. He leads their team in, TFLs and so forth. So we got to make sure we try to limit his, limited exposure on our part from him, because he's a guy that can really impact the offensive line for sure. But, there are not a lot of weaknesses, just being honest. They're 8-1 for a reason. And their only loss being to Texas. So there's a reason they're 8-1. It's because they have a good football team, as we do as well. And it's going to be a dogfight, I think, for 4 quarters. And I think the team that makes the least amount of mistakes will have a great opportunity to win the game. Okay, questions?
If I was, this is John and Dothan, I was wondering the status of Gunner and Kamani.
Yeah, up in the air a little bit, John, right now. Very hopeful. Our medical staff's doing a great job, really trying to get these guys through protocol. And, you know, obviously, once they're out with any kind of head injury, there are protocols in place to hopefully try to get them back. We don't know yet. Probably won't know, honestly, John, till the end of the week. So we'll wait and see, but we are hopeful.
And I assume there's no updates to Reggie, Todd?
No, Reggie's, you know, he's still a part of our program, but, you know, until his situation gets resolved, you know, it's kind of out of our hands right now. It's good to see him around. He's been around our team, and great sideline presence last week. Just really special man to me, but young man to me. But you know, right now, until that situation gets resolved, he's kind of in that no man's land.
Coach, this is Mike at the Troy Messenger. We've spoken about Tez a lot on these Zoom calls, but he made another play on Saturday that, you know, to me really showed his versatility. Just talk about, you know, all the ways he can help your offense. Yeah,
I think, Mike, you're right. Tez is, you know, obviously for us, you know, when we lost some guys, we either left us or we're out right now. You know, he's become kind of our guy that kind of makes us go. Don't get me wrong, Luke had several big catches. Deshaun Stoudemire's coming along nicely, but Tez, believe it or not, being a sophomore, has played a whole lot. You know, last year he played a ton, and just a very competitive guy, plays the game fast, plays it fearless. You know, he's an energy guy for us. I mean, you watch him run around and play, and in practice, it gets you excited. So I think he's continued to improve and develop. The more and more we put on his plate, he's handled it well. It's a big transition to go from high school to college, and he made that transition last year, I thought, extremely well. And he's a big part of what we need to do on offense, and he needs to have a big role for us to score some points for sure.
Hey, Coach, it's Justin down in Dothan. Just
hey,
kind of jumping to the other side of the ball, KJ Robertson's kind of the guy on defense who makes plays. It feels like every single week when needed. What have you seen out of his progression so far this season? Yeah, KJ's been what he's been probably since he's been here, or at least since I've been here. Just very consistent guy, one of the leaders and guys on our team that kind of is always keeping everybody up and going. Big-time interception in return for a touchdown he made, and he made sure to let me know how he needs to play some offense, which is something that we've laughed about. But, you know, KJ, whatever he does it as good as he can do it and competes. And he's a competitive guy, very driven, plays with a high motor. And, you know, he's just – I love him to death. He's a guy that we're glad he's on our team, and he'll give you everything he's got each and every week.
Your defense had 3 guys with double-digit tackles on Saturday. Just talk about that.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's Carlton and the other 2, Jordan, Anthony. It was KJ the other one? Okay. Mike, you know who that third one is? TJ. Okay, TJ Harris. Yeah.
Right, yes.
Yep. Yeah, you know what? I did not realize we had 3 guys. I knew a couple of them. But, you know, I think what it says, if you look at the positions that racked up those tackles, these are guys that are running to the football. And our defense, I think one of the improvements we've made in the last 2 years is we just got more guys that love to play football, and they compete and they run to the ball and they're competitive and they just play good team defense. When we're really playing well, you look up when you're watching the film and there's a lot of our jerseys around the football. And to be honest with you, guys are where they're supposed to be. You know, Brandon and the defensive staff have done an excellent job of really building that defense around our personnel and really making it where it's an easier defense for those guys to understand. I think he's also built it around our strengths in a lot of ways, and then I think we've recruited to add some depth there. So really excited about what they've done so far. We got obviously 3 big tests here down the road to get us in postseason, but couldn't be really more pleased. We just need to make sure we limit the explosive plays, and we did a better job of that last week.
Adam made a note about ranked teams coming into the vet. I think the last 4 years. Was that right, Adam?
Yeah.
Is that right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just talk about that opportunity. Obviously, it gets the fans going. You get a good crowd Saturday against South, but it gets the fans excited and ready to go, right?
Yeah, that crowd we had Saturday was really good. Our student section was phenomenal. They were loud and just had a good time, stayed the whole game. Some places that people don't do that. But, I think anytime you get a chance playing a ranked opponent, especially at home, it presents a great opportunity, and that makes it exciting. We've had that opportunity here, I know, since I've been here, I guess 3 times, and I think that's a big deal. It just brings more to the game. Obviously, from our perspective, we're fighting for postseason play, and it's a conference game and so forth. So just a little more added fuel to the fire, I think, for the game this week, and hopefully we'll have another big crowd that'll be loud and help us.
Coach, you've won 3 of your last 4 games. The only loss to the very tough game you had against Coastal Carolina, coming off a victory over a rival. Is there a better time to have this matchup with Louisiana than right now when you guys are playing some of your best football this year?
Yeah, Justin, I think you're right. I feel like we are playing our best football now. Not to say we're perfect, we're far from it, but I think we are an improving team that I've seen mature and grow as the season's gone. The good thing about it is we're still somewhat of a young team. I think we lose 3 guys on offense and 3 on defense, something like that. So, man, it's exciting to know. But this opportunity we have this weekend, you're right. I feel like we're improving each and every week, maybe playing our best team football that we've played. Told the guys in the dressing room after the game, doesn't matter, offense, defense, special team. We're a football team. That's the unique thing about football. It takes 3 phases of really different parts to have a complete team. And, we found ways to win as a football team here in the last month or so. So that's exciting. But November is stretch time, every year. And so we need to finish this thing out the right way and get ourselves a chance to get in postseason.
Hey, Coach, is it pretty easy to keep these guys focused? Obviously, you've got homecoming, you've got a ranked team, you've got bowl eligibility, and you're knocking on the door. So many things that are, flying around their heads. But keeping things one game at a time, so to speak. I mean, how easy for these guys to understand? Yeah,
Stephen, I think all those things make it easier to stay focused. Homecoming's a really big deal for especially our alums and our fans, I guess. But, from our perspective, it's another opportunity to play. We're not really involved in all that as much. But I think the opportunity to play in postseason, the opportunity to play a ranked opponent, the opportunity to play here at home, all those things, it makes practice a lot more fun. I mean, these guys the last 3 or 4 weeks been flying around in practice. I bragged on our staff this morning, staff meeting, about, that's something I've noticed. And, I think our guys are plenty focused on what we've got to do ahead of us. This is just one step of the final 3 that I think we got to take, and lots to play for, and lots of things to be excited about.